Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get it.
It's easy. All right, I think we're live. Yo, what's up? There we go.
Yo, Jasper, New York.
Yeah, what's up?
London in the house.
What up, Rob?
UK.
Mohammed, Stefan, Jasper, Eamon. What up, guys? How's it going? What's poppin', home skillet? Yeah, guys. So we have, we have a special guest today. Blake was here yesterday, but we didn't actually get to hear his story. So now, what up, Bronak? What up? Oh, yo, what up, Brandon? What up, Troy? How's it going, guys? Yeah, we're getting to know you guys now, so it's cool. It's cool that you guys are coming back because we're trying. It means that you guys like what we've been sharing, so that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, so today we're gonna Blake's is gonna show. He's gonna tell us a bit of his story, and this webinar will be a bit shorter.
A lot shorter, guys. Hopefully.
But yeah, we'll keep this one more oriented as far as processes, and we'll let Blake tell you guys like his story. And yeah, thanks, Ronan. He says that the videos are awesome. So yeah, we'll let him tell us his story, like how he went from being a bank teller to having some, six-figure days in the company he was with. So we'll go through all that stuff. And I'm just kind of waiting, a little bit. So, people, the email that I just sent is still sending. So there's quite a few people that get it. So, yeah, by the way, in the meantime, can you guys, what's up, Hector? What's up, Donna? What's up? Yeah, so in the meantime, do you guys want to tell us like anything good that you guys have gotten from this week? It'd be cool to see, just to know what you would like to see more of. By the way, this is the last webinar that we're doing this week. So I took over John's list. I don't know how often I'll keep taking over, but I think that like if you guys are super interested, if you guys like the content, I think the feedback has been pretty good. So just I think you subscribe right now. If you guys can please subscribe, would be awesome to my channel. So that way, anything that I add, you guys will have like direct contact with me, and not have to wait for me to get a broadcast, because I do put a lot of videos out there, so it'd be cool to be able to communicate with you guys. So yeah, let's see. Well, let's see. Eduard, dímelo, Chapin. Yeah, what's up? All right, guys. So anyways, I think we'll just get started now. And we'll let Blake show us what's up. So let's see. So we'll share the screen. This is gonna go full inception right now.
So I've never done this before, guys. I've never done any type of webinar.
Yeah, I mean,
super new to this.
It's his first webinar, so let's give him some love.
Hopefully we have any technical difficulties. We'll have Carlos handle it, because he's used this a couple of times at least before with you guys.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We'll run through it. So okay, so let's get to it. Let me just make the screen bigger here.
So obviously with what we got going on here is, there's a million different pieces to each of these businesses that you guys are working on. Some of you guys have e-commerce stores and own your own products. Other guys of you have an affiliate marketing business, or maybe you're trying to get into the business. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 and want to get out of that and kind of experience some financial freedom. Essentially, what we're all about today, you can kind of go with the headline: from bank teller to 200,000 a day. I mean, essentially, it was me kind of breaking. My story is the complete opposite of Carlos's story. You know, if you've been watching the previous webinars that he's done, he's gone from basically poverty in Guatemala to a self-made millionaire in LA. So my story is a little bit different, and we'll go into that right now. But what I'm going to talk about today, just so you guys know, if you have questions, go ahead and throw them out there, because I'm going to try to keep this brief. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, and then eventually later on down the line, maybe you can, after understanding who I am and what I do, you can come to me with questions and for future webinars and whatnot. But for now, we're going to understand how to scale your business to the next level. First off, let's go to this first slide here. So this is me and my wife. We're just, you know, down in Laguna Beach having a good time, you know, for a nice date. I actually think that was Valentine's Day. But so in college, so you guys know who I am, what I've done. I grew up in Orange County, and it's a really, really nice area. It's a suburb area, you know, so again, we're presenting you with two different ends of the spectrum. We've got Carlos, and then you've got me, which is, you know, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. So I was kind of bred to kind of go through the corporate world. So I started out in college as a bank teller, and then I'll get more into that in just a minute. And then I, you know, didn't have any industry experience at all when it came to affiliate marketing. So when I graduated college, I actually graduated college, and from there, I was offered a position. So I worked at as a bank teller. Let me get to this one actually. So I worked as a teller for about 3 years at one of the major banks here in the United States, and you know, gathered my experience and did some internships as a financial analyst, and basically was going to double major. So I double majored in accounting and economics, and what I was trying to do is basically get to the grind. And I was considering Wall Street, actually. Originally, I was considering Wall Street, and that's more than just a 9-to-5 job. That's like it's not even 9 to 9. It's more like a, you know, 24-hour job. I mean, it's insane, people that get into Wall Street. But I wanted to do it because it interests me, and there was, you know, the economy, the market, all of that interests me, investments, that whole deal. The thing is right out of college, you know, 2008, you know, kind of dates me. I'm 33 years old, and in 2008, the market had tanked, and that brought a lot of different opportunities my way. And somehow I ended up running a small startup, and that startup was actually in the internet marketing world. And that internet marketing world ended up being, I got my slides all messed up here a little bit here, guys. Sorry about that. But essentially, the internet marketing world was new to me. I'd never heard anything about it. And these guys invited me to be their CFO. So they offered me to be their CFO. I came on, started working with them, started doing their books.
So wait. So can I pause you for a second? Pause. So so can you tell us more about like your experience in the, because you know, you kind of jumped into the part where, you know, you got into like this startup, but like before, can you tell us, because we've spoken to a lot of guys, and the feedback, you know, a lot of people have jobs right now, and it seems almost impossible to be able to succeed from where they are, you know. And that's kind of the thing about your story, that it's like you were stuck in a 9-to-5 job, and like, can you tell us more about what that was like, and then like the grind, and like the, you know, being able to like just working really hard as a bank teller, and what's that like? Because I feel that a lot of people, like a lot of you guys still have jobs, right? And it's like the reason why you're here is because you want to be able to break out from it. So that's one of the things that Blake's story can, you know, like maybe you can relate to that a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, who here? I mean, I don't know if did any of you guys. Looks like we have everyone all right with the vision?
Yeah, like change it. If you can't see the settings, click the gear button, and then you're gonna see it. So Yeah, do you guys have jobs right now? Any of you guys have jobs, and any of you guys? So those are the two things we're gonna touch on. Is basically like how to get from your job to being a successful entrepreneur. And if you're already an entrepreneur, we're gonna talk about how to scale your success.
Exactly.
You know, so can you just tell us a little bit more about what that was like in your 9 to 5 and what you felt like and what
Yeah, no, when I was doing the 9 to 5 thing and I was working as a bank teller, it was just kind of like what I felt like I had to do in order to make it in the corporate world, right? Because that was the pathway that I was headed down. I was headed down, oh, I'm going to get into the corporate world. I'm going to go to work for a bank. I'm going to get my experience. And a lot of this was due to because my dad actually had advised me. He's, you know, done some things in his life, and I trusted him as an advisor. And he said, hey, you know, yeah, it's great to be an entrepreneur and all, because that's what he's done. But you really need a lot of experience to do that, and to not go in and just like fail, right? That was kind of his advice. And a lot of people think like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's super easy. I'm just going to go out and do that, right? But as we know, the percentages and statistics show that most entrepreneurs fail. Yeah. And a lot of the time, I think it's because people go into it with the wrong mentality and the wrong mindset. For me, when I was, you know, being in that mix of working with Wells Fargo as a teller, I kind of, at first I liked it because I gained a little bit of experience, but eventually it got kind of mundane. It got monotonous, and I really didn't like it after a little while. And I didn't really see a way out. I was just like, I just have to keep grinding. I just have to do this because eventually I'll get that corporate job and I'll be able to, you know, rise to the occasion, get up the ranks and get that position that I want, making 6 figures a year. What I didn't like, yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, by the way, that's sort of like the thing, right? For anybody working a job and like, you know, if you guys are here, you're probably like moving, you know, like you're probably aware of this, but like the big thing that keeps people in jobs is like, oh, I'm gonna get that raise. And also it's the fear, right? But if you think of what the limitations are as far as like having a job, how much money, what's the ceiling, right? That's the biggest thing. Like, what's the ceiling for somebody in a bank? Like, what do you think is the salary for somebody that just works for the bank instead of owning like their own company?
Exactly.
And that's, you know, that, I mean, you guys, I'm sure, are aware of it, but like, but that's like the thing, like how do you break out from that? And like, can you tell us a little bit of like that change that you made that eventually you were like, okay, no, I'm jumping and I'm doing my own thing? Or
yeah, no, I mean, here to be honest with you, I was kind of forced in the situation. I was really lucky and fortunate to have been given the opportunity to run that company. So that internet marketing company that I'm talking about was a small company. We did, you know, less than $1 million a year. When I first showed up, there was only a few of us. And eventually we were able to, within a short period of time, you know, make over $200,000 a day at times, and over $4 million a month. So within a few years, we were able to really grow that company. And it was within this marketing realm, within affiliate marketing. We were an affiliate marketing company. We actually were doing email. So our platform and our traffic source was email. It wasn't Facebook or Google or any of these other, you know, wonderful traffic sources that you have today. Email a few years ago, 10 years ago, up until 5 years ago, when I actually exited the arena, it was email. Email was kind of the big thing. And then Facebook, of course, came onto the map, and AdWords and all that whole deal with SEO and whatever. Anyway, so long story short is, yeah, it was a lucky thing for me to get into this position, because I realized that within this industry specifically, there's only probably a handful of industries that you can really look at and say, how can I, you know, jump to multi-million-dollar status with a low barrier to entry and minimal startup costs? I can name off a few of them. Investing, like in the stock market, in options and different things like that, is one of them. But the barrier to entry there is education. It's going to take you years and years of experience to get that. And then there's this one, and then a couple others I'm going to talk about. But this one specifically showed me how much volume you could get with such little amount of money. And so that's what affiliate marketing showed me and allowed me to open my eyes. And luckily, you guys are already here, so obviously you understand this already. I didn't at that age, and I'm glad that I kind of came across it. So because of that, I was able to make the step. I don't know if that answers the question.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Your story, and then we'll get into the actual. We'll get into like the life lessons that we can share, and like how you can apply them to your current situation.
Yeah, so this is kind of a brief overview. Again, guys, this is just gonna be a quick one. I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what I've done and what we can do and what we can do to help. But early on, so I got to this company, I just began focusing on all the processes. We hired out a solid team to build out the top line growth. Eventually, we ended up selling the company, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do next after that. So I had made significant income at that point with the affiliate marketing in email, and so I went back to my investing roots and started investing. I did some real estate deals. I invested in the stock market, a couple other smaller companies that I tried to launch with some other partners, and played around for a little bit. There's me and my wife. We went traveling all over the place. Kind of really lived the lifestyle. I have that financial freedom that that everyone kind of wants when they're in 9 to 5, and I didn't get it until I realized how powerful affiliate marketing was in driving sales online. Again, pretty much every picture is me and my wife doing something, traveling or whatnot. I don't really take pictures of myself unless it's with her. So yeah, I just kind of explain it here. So when I started investing, what brought me, I kind of felt like I had a magnet drawing me right back into affiliate marketing. And the reason why I invest into a small company, and that company, in order for it to grow, needed some type of sales organization. And unfortunately, unless you have an all commission based system, it's difficult to hire good salespeople that are actually going to drive real value to your business. And so what's the next way to do that? Well, online marketing. Online marketing is a way to do that, because you can, for a little bit of money, you can put your advertisements right in front of the face of millions and millions of people. And as Carlos has talked about, there's intricacies about that allow you to be successful or not be successful, which is obviously what we're talking about here with copywriting, your ad images, your ad headlines, your landers. Your landers are your salespeople, and so doing all these different things, all that stuff is free in essence if you can do it yourself. And so you can have one sales letter that acts as a sales force of 100 guys for a minimal price. So anyway, that's why I kept drawing back to affiliate marketing. So again, the reason why we're telling you this is because it's a broad spectrum of somebody that starts out really, really poor, and in Guatemala, like some of the guys that watch us and follow us in all over the world, really. And then you've got regular people, just random kids like me in suburbs that are able to rise to the occasion and actually kind of do what these other guys have done. Let's see here.
So yeah, I mean, so the one thing that the lesson is here, because I've spoken to a lot of you guys personally, and some guys usually have some sort of aspiration where like, I want to build a startup, I want to work on X and Y, I want to work on something, right? But like one of the most powerful skills that you can learn is how to be a marketer. That's incredibly powerful, and it's funny that you say that because for a while I was like trying different things, and I eventually ended up circling back to being an affiliate. And it's funny because I see a lot of guys trying like the e-commerce route, and like e-commerce where you're selling goods and stuff like that, and the margins aren't, a lot of times the margins aren't that good, and it's okay to do that kind of stuff, but if you don't have a lot of capital, then you're better off focusing on being an affiliate. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to have, when you're a product owner, you're going to have to focus on customers, you're going to have to focus You're going to need a lot of capital. You're going to get refunds. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to get all these things that are a pain in the ass to deal with. And in your mind, you're thinking, I'm an online marketer. But if you're an affiliate, you can get to focus on just one thing and do it really, really well. And from then on, once you have, once you have, I don't know, like $500,000 or $1 million in your bank account, then you can start thinking about building your, like looking at the next level. And that's sort of been the trajectory that I've seen a lot of people do. It's like affiliate marketing has such a low barrier to entry that it allows you to like really grow a business quickly, grow some capital quickly, and then figure out what exactly sells. Because something that happens also with a lot of guys that are starting up and trying to just start some sort of online business is that you don't know exactly what sells, but you spend years developing it anyways, or months or whatever, without really knowing. And affiliate marketing just literally cuts all that stuff, and from the first day if your offer is good or not. So once you become an affiliate marketer, you develop that sense of what's going to sell, and that's why it's such a powerful start.
Yeah, no, 100%. Carlos said it all. He says it better than me, by the way. I'm more the guy behind the scenes, kind of getting stuff done. But as part of what as part of what's made me successful, and why we're kind of telling you this, is a lot of people have the wrong mindset, as they go into this. And it's really just, if you're a grinder and you never give up and you're not making excuses and you're really taking responsibility for your actions and being accountable for what's happening, instead of trying to blame everyone else and be like, it's everyone else's fault why you're not successful. That right there alone, if you have that mentality, you're going to be successful in anything that you do. I don't care what it is. But if you apply that to this industry, you will be able to build capital quickly, and you'll be able to accomplish your goals and really live the life that you want to live and have that financial freedom.
Yeah, and by the way, we see that. We're seeing that, our mentorship program is pretty new, but we're getting, like students that are like they're doing pretty well in life. Some people are doing like a couple of grand a day, and we're talking to some people that like have offers, and just successful people. And the one thing that we see is that they're always like, they have an attitude of like, I'm gonna make this work. And that's what got him there in the first place. And then we see guys that have a hard time like getting anything done, and like we've spoken to people like that too, and they're like struggling and like can't pay bills and whatever, and the mindset is completely different. And you can tell even the guys that maybe are not where they want to be, but their mind is like, I will get there no matter what. Those are the people that will succeed, and those are the people, like that we want to work with. So that's
100%. I mean, we're gonna go over a couple of things right here, and we'll give you some tips, and then kind of let you go because it's a holiday weekend or whatever. But setting goals, that's huge. Setting goals that are realistic, and we'll go over that. And then we focus on building your skill set. I used to hire and fire guys all the time. And really, when I was hiring guys to come on board and work with us, I don't want the guy that has a bunch of credentials necessarily. It's nice to have those, but what it comes down to is, can you do the job that I need to have done? And so if you have that skill set, I don't care, go back, and I don't care if you have a degree or don't have a degree, if you can do HTML or you can do this or that or whatever it ends up being, right? You have a skill, then you're on the job. I'll hire you in a second because that's what I need done. So people kind of we can talk about the labor market and stuff like that all day long. I don't want to bore you though with economics, but at the end of the day, building your skill set is never a bad thing. So not making excuses as to why you can't accomplish something, but saying, what's preventing me from getting to that position? And a lot of times it's, you don't have the skill set to do it. And so you got to either go find someone that can do that, or you go figure it out yourself.
And by the way, guys, like in case, yeah, because I haven't mentioned this, but like so me and Blake, we have the Black Ops mentorship program, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and like we wouldn't have the program that we have if it wasn't for Blake, because this stuff that we're going to talk about here is what allows us to scale, like things like being able to have like tons of Facebook accounts and just have a process laid out for this kind of stuff. So this comes from this kind of mindset of business scale and applying that to so yeah, that if you know that's what's helpful here.
100%. So when you talk about wealth, guys, it's all about, so there's two different things, right? You've got like a cash grab model where you go out and you just get a bunch of cash, and then what, right? It's nice. Okay, let's say you go make your first 10 grand. Then what are you going to do? You're not going to live on that for the rest of your life unless you're living on $1 a day somewhere in an extremely poor country. But let's be honest, that's not the lifestyle that all of us want to live. We want to live in a little bit more luxurious lifestyle, even if it's just a comfortable lifestyle, just something comfortable. You're going to need to make a lot more than just 10 grand, and you're going to need to learn how to build wealth. And so it's all about that first dollar that you make. Once you become profitable and you make $1, then that just goes to show you right there, hey, I can make another dollar. And if you can figure out how to make that next dollar quicker, then that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make that next dollar a little bit quicker and then speed up that process until you're making millions of dollars every month or every year or even in every 5 years, whatever whatever your goals are. So, in order to do that, you have to learn how to break down yourself. You have to learn how to break down your business, and you have to look at it from an aerial view. You have to look at the entire infrastructure. You have to look at everything, all the pieces, and seeing exactly what makes all of this tick, and then start honing in on each one of the bottlenecks and each one of the inefficiencies, and then start improving that process over time till your business becomes an absolute machine. I mean, just take a look at Apple, for example. If you think you can't do it, I mean, Steve Jobs, he's one of the most inspiring guys out there. He built a company out of his garage, and now it's on track to be the first $1 trillion company. There is no one else on the planet that's done what he's done to that scale, and he started out of a garage. So you can't tell me that your circumstances won't allow it. It really comes down to your ability to decide and commit to something, and whether that's being an e-commerce store, an affiliate, this, that, whatever it ends up being, you do have to decide, and you have to commit to that decision and not get shaken out by all the hard things. So we'll go over a couple of, looks like we got a couple of questions here. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Yeah. So let's see. Salsky, what is my biz relationship with John? I'm actually we're partners in the super affiliate system. So I'm behind the scenes on that one. I actually help like John. We work together with structuring a lot of the course and all that stuff. So yeah, me and John work together. We're also good friends. I wish that was the Black Ops headquarters. That's like the Apple headquarters. That's next. That's next. Yeah. So what kind of infrastructure is needed to make these types of numbers?
You don't really need that big of an infrastructure. You really don't. It's hiring the right people, and we're going to get into this, but you really don't need that big of an infrastructure if you have processes in place that are automated to handle all the stuff that are non-essential, and anything that's also non-essential that can't be done by some type of automated program. Then you find the right outsourced individual or right in-house individual that can actually handle that, and then you teach them. So and that's another thing we'll get into a little bit with competitive advantage. Like, it's an economic term that basically tells you, hey, look, we're not all growing. Well, some of us may be, but we're not all growing bananas and corn and have cattle in the back of our yards. We're actually letting the people that are good at that. If you specialize in that labor, then we're going to actually have a greater amount of value that's extracted out of the marketplace in the society if everyone can focus and specialize in one thing. So do what you're good at, and Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, I see this, you know, sort of like the practical application where I see this is like some guys, you know, we've spoken to a lot of, yeah, here, yeah, Scott is right, since we're talking. Yeah, so you know, a lot of, I see this in a lot of guys that have had some success and then they kind of like stop. So it's kind of funny because well, they stopped doing what worked, right? And like, so what Blake is basically saying is like you need to really do an analysis on what has worked and not let like your emotions get the best of you or whatever. You need to like stop and analyze where have you had any success, what verticals, as an affiliate, for example, what verticals you've had success, what was the pages, what was the network, and then really focus on reproducing that success over and over. And not, because what I see is like a lot of guys are like, yeah, I was successful a month, earlier this year, and then I tried 10,000 other things, and you know, that's kind of like you stop doing what was working because of some sort of limitation. And I get it, right? Like sometimes there are going to be a lot of limitations. Sometimes you will lose your accounts, and you know, that's something that's probably why our service is, you know, like we have so many people wanting to take the mentorship program, is because, you know, we can help with the guys that are losing accounts and just kind of get stuck and haven't been able to like reproduce that success because of an account issue. So that's something we can help. But yeah, you basically have to really be very analytical to what you're doing and like really focus on that. Like I'll give you, yeah, like sometimes you're leaving campaigns that are making you money and you just kind of move on and you forget about them. So if you did have some campaigns that worked, maybe you need to revisit those and see what happened, and you need to keep going with those instead of just trying 10,000 other things. And so yeah, so let's see. So Scott, former millionaire auto dealership owner, actually got hurt, lost my ass, now in a wheelchair trying to survive on disability, which feels like table scraps. Oh, sorry to hear, man. But so yeah, I mean, you're telling us like the negatives, and I get it, right? Like that's like a bad situation, but you need to, in order for you to like be able to turn it around, you're going to have to not see yourself this way. You're gonna have to focus on exactly what can you do right now, you know, because I know that it's a process. Like if something really bad happens to you, it's like it can be like a process to get back and like come, like, so you're like fighting again for, like, you know, to be in the similar situation where you were. And in your case, it's like you're still typing, you're still using the internet, and you're looking into being an affiliate. You can be an affiliate. Like you can definitely crush it as an affiliate. So like you need to, like, and you're here, right? So that leads me to believe that, you know, you're getting there. So that's cool. But like you need to stay focused on what are the good sides. And you know, obviously, it's easier said than done, but that would sort of be my comment on that.
Yeah, I'll recommend a book for you, actually, Scott. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. Pick that book up, read it. It'll really kind of help change your perspective on it, and look to the bright side of things and really get stuff done. It's a great book, all about your mentality.
Yeah, so I want to do this. I'm at the point where I need this more than the air I breathe. Okay, that's kind of like the point where you want to be at. What exactly is it that you need, Terry? Is like you need the money, or like what? You need to just be launching campaigns, or what exactly is it? You know, you have to get clear on what it is that you need. If you're, yeah, like you need to be more specific than that. Ronak, you looking for mentorship? Yeah, we'll give a shout out. We'll give we'll give our info and you can add us, and then we'll talk about it at the end. But you know, I don't know if do we have Ronak on Skype? I don't know if you
Sure.
if we
We'll hit you up at the end.
add us on Skype.
We'll get back to this. You can add us on Skype at the end. We'll get back to this so we can move through it quickly. I told you I was want to be quick, but it's actually longer than I thought. So
yeah. So Terry, for example, I have had no success. Just need to know what to do. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it just depends. Like, you've had zero success in life, or just in affiliate marketing. What has worked? You need to like really analyze. I mean, that's a broad statement. I've had no success. So that's kind of exactly what we're talking about here, where it's like you need to really look at what has worked for you. And if you know, even if you did a campaign and all you did was like, you lost, you know, you spent $100 and you made 20 back, versus all the other ones where you made nothing back. That's at least one sale. So
anyway, this slide, actually, let me go back to this. What?
Yeah, choose it. Right? Choose it.
This one?
Yeah.
So this slide is actually just for you, Terry. It's perfect for you, so you can have a look at it. So first, there's a lot of mistakes that everyone makes when they're, you know, first starting out as an entrepreneur in general, not just an affiliate marketer, and it's having misguided expectations. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people making a lot of money like this, like you're saying here, but you can't expect to, like, day one start making millions of dollars. That's not how it works. You have to build your skill set up, just like I was talking about earlier. And you can't expect that it's going to come easy. It's not going to come easy, but it will come. And that's the idea, right? Just like Scott, you know, we talked about psycho-cybernetics. That is more, you know, keeping the right attitude and mentality as to where you're going. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to keep driving until you get there. And it's a grind. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you and say that, oh, it's super easy, but it is definitely possible. And it's definitely one of the lowest barriers to entry of any industry that I know of, where you can actually become a millionaire so quickly. Otherwise, you know, you graduate college or whatever your path may be in the 9 to 5 and work for $45,000 a year for multiple years until you finally get a pay bump. And then eventually, you know, by the time you're 20 years down the road, you finally make that 6-figure salary. But in the end, I mean, you just wasted 20, 25 years of your life.
Yeah, and I have a funny, I mean, I have actually, because, you know, over the years, I've met a lot of people that got started as affiliates, and I've gotten the chance to see like their trajectories and whatnot. And well, I have two things to say about that. Like, one of them is that like, if you're in a situation where you have no money, like, literally go talk to anybody you can and offer to buy the traffic, and literally, you know, take 10% of the profits or whatever small percentage you can do. Literally just take anything you can, but get started, you know, even if it's a shit deal at the beginning, like, use that to grow. And like, whatever option is available for you to start getting out of the slump, use it, you know. And that's really key. Like, don't be super picky, but like, just start focusing on what is available to you, and just use that to get to the next level. Like, take it, work on it really hard, and keep figuring out how you're gonna get to the next level. So that's the first thing I'll say. And the other thing that is actually really, really cool is that I've never met, oh, actually, I should say this. I met a ton of people that I was like, this guy is just like, I mean, and I'm sorry to say like that, thankfully I was very wrong, but I was like, this guy is not, he doesn't seem very smart. Like, and I was very arrogant at some point. I was just kind of like looking at people and like, oh, this guy is just, I mean, like, he's asking for advice and like, he's not very sharp or whatever. And I've had guys that have proven me so wrong that I'm like, one guy in particular, we had dinner and I just kind of like, again, this is like, I was younger and didn't really appreciate. You know, I've come a long way to appreciate people and like their hustle and like appreciating them. And that's what I do. That's why I do what I do now, is like to help people. But before I was just kind of arrogant. So I met this guy for dinner, and I was doing really well, and he was just kind of like desperate. And I helped him out. I gave him some advice, and I did, but I wasn't really thinking about it much. And now this dude is like, he's got like a Bentley, he's got like a giant office, and like he's killing it. Another story, like, and the one thing is that he just persisted. And the one, like, another story like that is, I know this guy, he's good friends of mine. There were two friends of mine, so they were working together. One guy had a lot of money, this guy didn't. And the guy that didn't have money was just basically like using my other friends' money to run campaigns, and he's like, I'll figure it out. So my friend just like would so the guy that had money eventually was kind of fed up because he wasn't being successful. Everything that he was doing, he was just failing. And so he cut him off and like giving him money to test. And the other guy, the thing about it was like, yeah, it got really tough for him, but he didn't quit. And now this guy's like, he was just on this like crazy vacation on Europe for like a month, and just like living like an amazing life, because he never quit as an affiliate. Like he literally just stayed with it, even in like the worst situation. And that's kind of how I was too. Like, I mean, when I started, I had a little bit of success on my own, and then it got really bad, and I just I kind of struggled for a while. But I didn't quit. And multiple times I've had that to get to the next level, where I've had to really like go through periods of time where I don't make any money, and then it just kind of pays off, and it's like hidden like oil or something, you know, like when you find a really good campaign, it's almost like yeah, it's like you hit the jackpot, and like there's all this money coming in your way all of a sudden. That's how affiliate marketing goes. But the thing is, like, if you're here and you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to just be like your positivity has to be indestructible. You know, you have to always be like, I'll get there. Nobody in this world can talk me out of it.
Yeah, you definitely have to be relentless. 100%. Yeah. Thick skin. Anyway, going back to, let's just go back to these slides, get moving through them. So these are some of the mistakes, you know, we talked about them. And a lot of stuff we've actually already talked about are already in these slides. We'll probably move through these slides a little quicker because, no, you're good. No, it's good. I like it. I don't want to have to talk that much. I actually like that you're saying stuff that you're saying, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to say anyway. You know, setting goals, you got to have, when you set goals, you have short-term goals that, you know, of course, got to be aligned with the long-term goals. So if you want to be a millionaire, you can't just be like, oh, I want to be a millionaire and figure it out. You have to go get that first dollar, just like I was saying. Then it's the next $10, then it's the next $1,000, then it's, you know, we move along forward. And you have to really have pretty realistic expectations and be consistent. Don't get so bogged down with so many things. I mean, that's one of the, we'll go back to a specific example there. So they call it prevent analysis paralysis. In other words, you know, if you got so much information overload, because it's good to go get a bunch of information from people that know, you know, mentors, advisors, but you could be doing research all day long and never apply that research. There's a lot of people go out and they go build a product over like 2 or 3 years, and they spend so much time and money without even really, like, you know, proving the concept and really actually taking action into actually selling the product. And so that's another thing here too. So don't have too many things on your to-do list. Try to tackle one at a time. Prioritize. If you're too much of a big thinker and you think you're going to take over the world, and you just go straight to taking over the world, it's not going to happen. You really have to take it one step at a time.
Yeah, and it's sort of like what Facebook, I mean, when you think of Facebook, right, you think of this, now you think of this massive thing, but when he got started, he was like, just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna open it up for a small group of people, you know. And then he was like, I'm gonna open up for another college. And then it's a funny story that I heard him speak. He was saying that he was when he came to California, he was like driving and seeing all this in like San Francisco, seeing all these corporations, and he was like, I hope one day I'll be able to build a corporation like that. But he wasn't thinking it was going to be Facebook. He was like, Facebook is this little thing, you know. So that just sort of gives you like the mindset. Like a lot of times, really successful people don't start with like this ginormous idea, but start at the more practical level.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great example with Facebook. Don't try to do everything yourself. I didn't change the image from yesterday. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's like I was talking about earlier. You really do need to specialize in labor. Do what you're good at and hire everyone else. You know, as you build your cash flow, hire guys that can do other things that you're not that great at, and really build the synergy between you and that first employee so that you guys can give exponential value to the company.
And by the way, do you guys know Ronnie? Like Ronnie, what that's kind of what he does. His Ronnie's a beast, and he's been able to build like a operation where he gets to live the life he wants, exactly how he wants to live it. And the way he does it is like he focuses on what he's good at. He focuses on copywriting, and then other people, and he hires media buyers. He hires people to do like all the other areas, and he strictly does the copywriting. So that's an example of how do you apply this into being an affiliate. And by the way, like, so we have some questions like for every higher what ROI or key performance indicators you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a good question. It really kind of depends on what you're really trying to accomplish there. Every industry is different. In regards to this industry, affiliate marketing, I mean, you can have massive margins. There's a bunch of different models. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you can go ahead and say, I'm going to implement a model where I give incentive to my employee, and by giving him a cut on the revenues or a cut on the profits, or just even like a one-time fee or whatever by selling this one thing or doing X, Y, or Z, you can have, I mean, there's different schools of thought here, right? You can have exponential growth that way versus saying, oh, I'm going to just grind this employee down and pay him $2 an hour. Sometimes it's a little bit better to give them a little bit more money, or give them bonuses or different types of incentives that will really have
one of my mentors, he has a company that does, you know, like $400,000 a day, and his advice on hiring people was always make everybody so they're like incentivized. So like, for example, you will say, I don't know, this is like the example he uses, but like he launches a new brand, and he'll be even like the office manager that's got nothing to do with sales, he'll be like, yeah, whenever we get to our first $100,000, then you'll, or you know, $20,000 a day or whatever, you'll get a nice bonus of, you know, like whatever amount makes sense. So, and then he incentivizes all the positions, and that's he lives an amazing life. The guy doesn't he lives a life where he's just like completely not completely, but he's not like involved in the day-to-day operations. And the people in the company are just working really hard in the way, and like hustling, because they're doing it out of their own self-interest, because he's made it so they can make a ton of money in his organization. So so the company grows because people are just kind of feel like part of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go right there. I mean, Christoph said it.
Yeah.
If they don't feel a part of it, it'll come apart. It really will. And just in direct response, how I run my business is I'm always looking to bootstrap everything. I'm not going to come in with, I've invested it the other way around where I just throw money at it, and it just doesn't work. So bootstrapping it on an ROI basis, when you come in as a business consultant, I've done business consulting for a number of years now, and really, my model, how I like to do it is I like to build on the cash flows of the company. So really your first goal is really ROI 0, right? Just break even with that customer or that employee. And then you can figure out how do I take that employee and make them extremely profitable in what they're doing. If they're freeing up your time sometimes and they're breaking even and not really making you any money, sometimes that's worth it too. And because you can then focus on other things, not working in the business, but on it and building it and growing it. So I hope that helps with your question there, Stefan.
Let's see what other questions they had. How do you start your initial research to find a product or service to promote? I mean, as an affiliate, I would say that I listen to what other people are doing. That's why it's good to be part of communities, and that's why it's good to go to the events, and that's why we have our like our mastermind. It's because you want to keep an ear on the ground on what's hot, and like you want to listen to your affiliate managers too. Like they want you to succeed, so they'll give you like something, and it's because a lot of times it's because they've seen other people like succeed with it, so they're like, hey, try this, it's hot right now. So I listen to just kind of, and also like you can watch ads, you can like look at other people's ads, and if you see something like over and over and then you hear somebody tell you something about it, you'll know that that's something to promote.
That's actually part of being an investor, by the way. When you're an investor, you really have to be keen and observe what's going on around you. You know, if you see somebody wearing the new Nike shoes that just came out, obviously, and you see it all over the place, that's probably an indicator that they're generating a lot of revenue, right? So it's the same kind of concept. Definitely, it's always good to do something that you like too. If you listen to the copywriting class or courses that Carlos has done, you really have to get into the minds of the consumer. What are these guys really thinking? What are they really doing? And as you become more familiar with your demographic, you will be a better marketer and you will be able to deliver the product that they need. And so really stay focused on what's going on around you and be able to observe keenly, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so Christoph, do you prefer CPA, CPL, CPS? I mean, usually CPA, but it's just where you find your niche. There's people doing extremely well in all of those, so that's not really like wherever you see your first success, that's good. Keep going, yeah. So
all right, so we'll get back to this real quick. So this book here, guys. This book here is a great book. Go pick it up. I read this book a little while ago and I really liked it, and I thought it would be a really good thing for people that they're struggling, kind of like basically betting on themselves and being able to make goals every day that will help them improve and really improve their skill set. So go get that one. It's called 6 Months to 6 Figures. It's a good one. Let's go to the next one here. Choose Yourself. I mean, there's a million good books out there, guys, by the way. I mean, we've mentioned a few of them for advertising, but these are all really good business books to kind of get you in the right mindset. This is another one, James Altucher. He's got a great story. Go check that one out. I don't want to get too much into it. Going back to what we were talking about with, how do we know where to start when it comes to actually scaling your business and finding the problems that are necessary? Don't guess. I mean, guess, but, guesstimate using real data. So you have to go and you have to come up with ideas and you have to create, okay, well, where do I really take the next step? Well, it's in the data. And so you have to dissect it. It's just like what we do with optimization and all these campaigns. You really have to actually get into the campaign, figure out who's clicking, what mobile device is it working on desktop? Is it working on that? What geographic region, what age group, what this and that, you have to get in there and figure it out. Now that's it. That's with optimization, right? But in businesses, you have a bunch of different hurdles that you need to overcome. And so use the data, look at, with financial analysts, as a financial analyst for a number of years, you do have, and as a current investor in the market, you have to dive into these financial statements and really dissect it, understand from the aerial perspective that I was talking about earlier, what is actually happening? What are the actual costs? What are the actual problems why can't my one employee do this? Is he not capable, or is it something else? You know, ask yourself the right questions. Be very systematic and analytical. That's, you know, something Carlos touched on a little bit. So instead of complaining about the problems, solve them. Get down in the dirt and get it done. That's what's going to make you successful. People, they wait and they hesitate and they procrastinate and they complain about why they're not making a bunch of money. Honestly, just look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, you know what? Take responsibility and accountability for what you're doing. And if you do that, I promise you, if you do that, you will start to gain an amazing skill set as you build your not only just your self-worth, but your values and skill sets that are going to take you to the next level. So again, where to start? You kind of ask yourself some questions. I kind of obviously got caught up here. I was running through this thing pretty quickly earlier. So, you know, what's your biggest hurdle? And then upon that, what's preventing me from really overcoming that hurdle? What's preventing me to get to that next level? You know, is it because I don't know technicals? Is it because I don't understand how to copyright? Is it because I don't know how to optimize? Is it because of this or that? Whatever it ends up being, get in there. Or is it because maybe you don't have the time? So then maybe we need to look at hiring somebody. By the way, guys, if there's anything you guys have problems with, what are your biggest hurdles? I like actually more interactive stuff, which is why I wasn't too keen on the webinar, but I guess you can ask a bunch of questions. So I mean, for you guys, what's something that's, you know, preventing you from reaching your goals right now, or preventing your business from growing?
Yeah, like give us some examples. Like even if you have a job, like what is preventing you from like quitting it and being, or having a stable second stream of income? What is preventing you? You know, let's hear it. Yeah. By the way, but yeah, this Hip Hop Cave says getting started with pay-per call marketing. Yes. Pay-per-call marketing seems to be like kicking off.
Blowing up right now, it seems like, yeah.
Hit me up, by the way, at the end of this. Let's talk about it, what network you're running and all that stuff. So documenting all my processes. So Stefan.
So Stefan, so where are you doing that now? I mean, do you have a centralized location? That's kind of what you want to do with that is, I mean, use Google Drive, use whatever you can, use Dropbox, use these different tools that are out there. I mean, we're in 2016 and they really have a heck of a ton of stuff to help you with that kind of stuff. So you really can just use the technology that we have to centralize all of that and document each process. And by the way, that's a good problem, because once you start documenting those processes, then you can actually hire people and hand them the paper or the process and let them do it. A monkey can do it. That's how you have to set up your documentation. When you actually document these processes, make it so that anybody that you hand that to can do it. And if you do that, then you can scale a lot easier. You don't have to worry about spending so much time teaching someone how to do it. You can just point them to the paper and they can get it done. Any other problems?
Yeah, that's. I have a funny story with that. So I built a six-figure company with Amazon, and it's so basically the way I did it, and it's funny because I spent like an hour a day on it. So the way I did it was simply by doing exactly what you just said. That's what I just kind of reminded me, because I spent at the beginning, I was kind of so annoyed that it was taking so much time. I was like spending a lot of time creating the manual for people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this is the process. And I would do the process, and my goal was, how do I replace myself from this position, like immediately? And I just did one thing, and then hired someone to replace me. Did one thing, created the manual, hired somebody to replace me. Did the next thing, went to the higher level, and that person couldn't do. And then I was like, all right, I need to, what is the process here? And I hired somebody to replace me, created a manual, until the operation was literally just running on its own. I mean, I still had to supervise it, but the amount of time that I was spending was like sometimes. I mean, this still makes me money, and I haven't even logged into it for a few months. So yeah. That's kind of like the power of of a nice process.
Yeah, it's definitely a key. So Stephanie, if that's a problem for you, you need to figure that out. You really need to spend some time and just know that if you do that properly, it's going to pay.
It's really annoying. It's a friggin' annoying thing, but it pays off in spades. And I remember just how annoyed I was at doing it. Like I hated it with a passion, but it paid off big time. Yeah.
Asking again, just get some coverage.
I am a network.
That's a good question. It's
what question?
Customer user base. I don't know actually.
Can you read it out loud?
So existing customer user base of 14 million. What system supports 1 to 7 million attendees on? I'm not a big webinar guy, so I don't actually know.
It's like for webinars. I mean, I don't know much about webinars.
Yeah, you'll have to do some research.
But like, go to webinar, or maybe you need. I mean, for 1 to 7 million attendees online at once. But if you have a user base of 14 million, I don't think your attendance is going to be that high, to be honest. If you have I don't know, maybe your attendance, I don't know, maybe you're going to really hype up the event, but it seems that your attendance would be more in the 500,000 realistically. I don't know if you've done it before, if I'm just completely wrong here, but that would be my guess.
Yeah, you might have to do some research on that one. Actually, know what I'm thinking? Let me just run through these really quick, and then we can save the question and answer till later, so that people don't.
Yeah.
If they want to get through the webinar, they don't have to listen to Q&A. Just thinking about that now. Okay, so back to the basics, just real quick. You start there. Start with the basic. Understand the root of the problem. This goes back to what we were just talking about. Understanding whether or not your core product actually is a good market fit. Finding out where your largest core users are, and that just comes down. We've been talking about Facebook as being the platform, the ad platform that we're using. So that's pretty easy. Let's see. So anyway, finding out what it is that is your consumable resource. So that's a big key. I was, at the other mailing company that I worked at the internet marketing company, there were several consumable resources that would allow us to scale. For example, people that are doing Facebook or maybe even doing black hat stuff in Facebook, their consumable resource might be, accounts getting shut down. And so that's preventing them from scaling to the next level. So if that's your problem, you need to figure out that and that only.
Yeah, you need to talk to us, and then we help you.
Yeah, there you go. Automating, we talked about that a little bit already. Getting this all set up, setting up the cloud storage, the processes, the marketing automation, payroll, all this other stuff. Get that automated. I mean, you don't need to be doing that and wasting your time. Focus on the stuff that's actually going to drive you revenue to the top line. Just want to say anything about that? I'm just trying to move quick here. Hire the right people, guys. I can't stress this one enough. People is what builds businesses. People build businesses, and that's pretty much it. It's sometimes not even the product. It's the people that are behind it. And that goes to show with a good copywriter. If you don't have the right copywriter, or you don't know how to do it yourself, then the product's not going to sell. If you don't have somebody that's running it properly, in other words, you don't have a CEO that's running it, or you're not running it properly, then you got the wrong person. Give that to somebody that knows how to manage. Find the people that are good. Anyway, we can go over this, but I feel like we're taking too long already. So you can read it here, or come back and pause it and read this.
By the way, are you guys enjoying this? Is this helpful for you guys? Yeah, we want to make sure that it applies to you guys. So let us know in the comments. Yeah.
So anyway, just some final thoughts here. Scalability, guys, is really just a mindset.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Nice, Terry. All right, we got one person that liked it at least.
Yeah, there we go.
So if you have specific, where I believe that I come in and help you guys a little bit more is if you guys actually give us specifics about what you need to do to overcome a particular hurdle or a particular problem. If you guys have issues, potentially in the future, if you raise those concerns in other webinars and stuff like that, we can actually help you.
People loving it.
Oh,
people
good.
loving it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks,
good,
guys.
good.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So yeah, in order to become, really successful, honestly, and scale your business from $1 to $200,000 a day, you really have to do these things. You have to hire the right people. You have to build your own skill set. You have to automate and organize and do all these other things. Dissect each department. If you guys get anything from this today, dive into your company, dive into whatever you're doing and break it down. Understand what each piece does to build value for your company and to build the top line growth of revenues and to also expand the margins on the bottom line. What does each thing in your business do? If you're paying too much for hosting, go find a different hosting provider. That'll expand your margins. If you're paying too much for traffic because you're setting your CPCs to manual and you're not letting the pixel do the work on Facebook, then you're wasting money. So these are the little things that you need to dive into to make it better, right?
Christoph, your energy is infectious, and I am in London at 1:37 a.m.
There you go.
Awesome.
Good. I'm kind of a passionate guy. I try to go, but yeah. So these are the things. Any questions about that, guys?
Yeah, tell us what some of your issues are. Maybe we can help you right now, brainstorm it, and we can give you some suggestions as to how to get to the next level. Because the biggest companies in the world, are not like some of like real wealth. If you wanna just if you want to make some money and be comfortable, it's fine, and you can do that by cruising by without having to think at a higher level. But if you really want to make a significant impact in your wealth, and you actually want to be considered wealthy, then you need to learn to set up organizations, and you need to learn how to manage or how to structure them properly so you can scale. Because one person does not build a gigantic business on their own.
No, not even close. I mean, do what Steve Jobs did too, right? He didn't invent the mouse or invent these different things. He just took them and made them better. And that's the kind of mentality that you have to have in order to scale. You just take the process that you have in front of you that kind of works, right? You're here for some reason, and that process, kind of works. Make it better. Dive into it, dissect it, understand it, and then build out the process so that it's better. If you do that, scalability becomes easier because you're not looking at it from such a high view. You got to start out looking at it at a high view so you can see all the pieces. But then in order to scale, you have to get back into the micro. You have to get back in there in the mud and in the dirt and really, really grind away to try to solve each problem.
This is actually helping me think of there's a lot of stuff that we can make into processes and in different areas. And
it's 100%.
It's a very, very powerful thing. That if you master this, your life will be you'll have so much less on your plate, and you'll also be so much more effective.
100%. Guys, I hear people all the time, oh, well, I'm not as privileged as this person or that person, or this person's, got a better opportunity than I do. That's nonsense. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. You can get up and do whatever you want with it. So you have to choose each day who you want to be and what you want to become and what kind of business you want to run and what type of person you want to be and all that kind of stuff. Get up each day and make decisions to accomplish your goals. Find out first what your goals are. Play to win. There you go. Just like that, Erica. Find out what your goals are and then set micro goals to accomplish the bigger ones. And if you do that, you'll have a lot of success.
Oh, do you want to go in the presentation, or should we answer some questions?
You can do that and go to the end.
Oh, okay. So wait. So before we move on, let's see what's going on with so Christoph, right? You want some super affiliates. All right. So you're not at the wrong place, that's for sure. But you need to think you need to think of like, first of all, I mean, and we're gonna do this in the context of where you know, like of setting up processes and looking at the data. But so let's look at, you know, like you would have to look into what are your results, right? I mean, do you have any affiliates? What's your most successful affiliate? So let's say you have an affiliate that's maybe it's not that big. I don't know how it's, you know, it sounds like your network is not that big, but let's say you have like like 10 people, but one of them is doing, you know, like, I don't know, $500 a day or whatever. And then that's your biggest affiliate. Then you have to, what you want to do is like, look at this guy and see, how did I find this guy? Like, how did he find out about us? Did I find him myself? Did I go like chase him down? Did I go to an event and did I go like, did I like tell him that I had a good offer? What was it about our network that appealed to him? Why is he running with us? And then like, okay, like figure out, all right, he was running in this traffic source and this was the offer that he liked. Maybe we need to get more of those offers and focus on that, or try to reproduce like how you got this one affiliate. You know, like that's sort of what would be an application of like the process, right?
Yeah, definitely. And build the process that works, right? And then take that and try to duplicate it, and then or not just duplicate it, but replicate that thing over and over and over again. I mean, you have a unique business because you can come out there with different angles, right? I don't know what your angle is. I don't know if you're the Walmart or if you're the boutique or if you're, you know, the thing about affiliate marketing, the thing about a lot of things is it's kind of a, oh, there you go. So private boutique network just gave it to me. So what it comes down to is in something like that, it's probably more relationship based, right?
Yeah, you can mention your name mention the network name if you want to. I mean, maybe you'll get somebody here signing up. So that'll be cool for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that kind of a thing, I would say focus on referrals, focus on relationships, because in that world,
I mean, I'll tell you how I've been able to run, how networks get me is by having really awesome affiliate managers and that are always hitting me up. And most of the time, like they go to events. That's where I think of like when visually what I think is basically like I'm in like affiliate summit, and some person is like, hey, what offer you want? I have it for you, and then we connect, and it's a personal connection, and then I run some traffic with them. That's kind of how I've been. That's how I usually get introduced to networks. But people hit us up like all the time. Somebody hit us up from a random network that we never heard of it before, and we're like, oh, your offers are cool. So they just created an account for us. They set us up, and they do like a demo. So yeah, I mean, it's very much about the personal connection, and that's. But in the context of what we're talking about, building processes, it's like finding out how you found your first successful affiliate and diving deep into that and being able to reproduce that. So it's not you that's pitching anymore. So you're able to get like a girl, like a, you know, it's usually like affiliate marketers, So your affiliate manager is like a girl, and like they're girls, like cute girls for a reason, you know, because most affiliates are guys. So it's like, oh yeah, this girl has good offers, and that's, you know, that's kind of how usually, not every time, but I've seen that do like that. That's how some of the big networks do it, you know. So that's one way to do it, but you got to find out what's working for you and analyze what has worked for you and expand it, you know. So I don't, you know.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, there's more stuff. So I hope that helps, by the way, Christoph. Let's see, Terry. This is awesome. I'm willing to learn, and this is totally great information. I'm not privileged, but I know I can do this. I'm a winner. Yeah. You are. That's awesome. Let's see. Is there a guide or steps you can help us with to build an affiliate marketing? I want to get started doing affiliate marketing. I'm totally new. So yeah. I mean, there's well, we personally have we have like a mentorship program. That's how we help people. Otherwise, you can go to certain forums, and it's
there's a lot of free information online to get started. Really,
yeah.
Just Google it. You just Google it, get started. Start understanding what affiliate marketing is. Understand what it is, what kind of a role you'll be playing, and then follow kind of the steps that you see online. I mean, really, it'll get you started at least, and then when you're ready to take your stuff to the next level, then you can start applying some of the concepts, we've talked about today, as well as some of the copywriting techniques and all these other things that Carlos has done in the past.
Yeah, and Ronak woke up at 5 a.m. for this in India. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you.
Nice.
Can I have your Skype IDs? Yeah, we're gonna give them in 1 minute, and you can add us there and we can talk. Let's see. How can I get in touch with you guys? Yeah, we will give out our info. Yeah, there's a lot of free good stuff, so you can do that. And our program is more like the fast track to success. It's like we basically coach people. But yeah, actually we'll get into that right now. Let's talk about what our program is, and we'll do like a screen share here. And then, yeah, so basically we're offering a mentorship program for affiliates, and yeah, so teaching others has changed my life as much as the people that we teach. I mean, this is for me personally, like it's been incredible. The more I help people, the more I grow, and the more my business grows, and it just kind of is it's this weird like karma thing, and yeah, like that's how I've always done it. When I first moved, I'll tell you a story. When I first moved to LA, I didn't want to live by myself, and I was pretty young, so I like moved to the Hollywood Hills. And I basically paid for like the majority of the rent, and made rent really cheap for my friends. And my friends were really scared because they were coming from like a small town, like Oklahoma, small town, and they were like, oh man, I have to pay like $1,000 rent, and I was taking the majority of the rent. And I was like, don't worry, man, like soon $1,000 rent is gonna seem like such a joke to you, because I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna teach you, and I will show you affiliate marketing, and we're gonna do it together. And then so sure enough, like this is one of the guys that that we did, like, when I was doing like $320,000 a month, like he was making like 6 figures too. So that was like my cut. His cut was also pretty big. So I changed his life, but that was yeah, like as far as the money, but the value he brought to my life was priceless. He brought like a lot of value, like a lot of really cool experiences, like a lot of people. He was like very social. So he transformed my life. He brought mentors, and those mentors helped us transform. So it was kind of like a very, very cool thing, and it would never happen if I hadn't ever like just decided to help him just because, there was really like it was just helping, and I've done that consistently, and I've seen it consistently. So whenever I help people, like it just kind of comes back. So that's kind of we love helping people. And we, unfortunately, we have a limited amount of time. So what we do is we help you get set up with Facebook accounts. So if you have problems, you can get more. And this is like a big roadblock. We basically are like a bit of a marketing agency, like a self-serve platform where you can use our accounts And if you run into problems, we give you more. And you can run any offers you want. We can help you with the whole setup. We help you with the whole setup. And then additionally to that, we personally coach you, and we give you like homework. We give you lander homework. I'm personally there guiding you. So I have a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. So I can like grab what you like. I can look at what you're doing, and before you spend any money, I could tell you like this is not going to work. Like you should not run this. So you don't have to spend $1,000 finding out that it was crap. So that can save you a ton of time. I'm also like giving you specific homework, so there's no guesswork as far as like how to be a successful affiliate. Like it's like boom to the point. It's like I make it so it's connect the dots. And we run in, like we just take from where you are, and we basically help you become successful. We give you like ads homework, landing page homework, all of it. Like it's kind of, we help you with every aspect of it, and some aspects that you probably have no idea they existed, but that may be key to being successful. And we basically save you more than 10 years to master affiliate marketing. So it's sort of like the fast track. And like I mentioned, we are actually, this is not like a pitch or whatever. We really are almost at full capacity. It's some of you guys have already signed up, and it's pretty cool to see that you guys are in the webinar. Some of you guys have already signed up, and we only have room for a couple more people. So yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of space. We're looking for a couple more people. So if you're interested, contact me, send me an email. This is my email on the screen. It's bcarloscruz@gmail.com. You can add me on Skype, ccruz84. And yeah, so I'll leave this for a second. You can take a moment to add me, and I'll add you so you can talk to Blake as well. And then we're, again, as I mentioned, only taking very few students. So if you're interested, add us now. I'd recommend adding us on Skype and sending an email, and that way we can have you there for sure. And we will discuss if you're interested in getting the fast track. By the way, the cost, just so because it's not for everybody. Like the cost is $5,000 as an initial setup fee, and then it's $2,000 as a monthly. So with that, we give you like all the accounts and all the training, and it's a lot of work for us. So that's kind of that's how we justify being able to spend a lot of time, because it comes with like an hour a week. I do like a Skype call with you, an hour a week, and I'm coaching you there literally every step of the way. And also you can chat with us on Skype on a for the smaller things on a daily basis. So yeah, it's a pretty cool program. I wish I had it when I was getting started, to be honest. So if you can afford it, it's definitely the fast track to success, and it'll pay off in spades, because the stuff that we teach is gonna take you years to find out on your own. So yeah, that's the thing. If you guys have any questions, we'll have a little Q&A session. Let us know, type us in if you have any questions, and otherwise that we are going to, we'll end this pretty soon, but let us know. I mean, by the way, was this helpful for you guys? I mean, we're sharing like 2 different stories here, and it's just so you can see that you can be successful from any, from wherever you are. You can definitely find success, and you can transform your life with affiliate marketing. Can you show the Skype address again? Ah, damn. All right, let's see it. Here's the Skype address again. There we go. Is that clear? Sea Cruise 84. Sea Cruise 84. Sea Cruise 84. So yeah, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you guys for being here. And this is like the end of the week. And for us, I've done what is this, like the fourth?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've done 4 webinars in a row. That's intense. But I hope you guys have learned a lot. And yeah, next time I'll write it on the whiteboard next time. I thought about that. I don't know why I didn't do it. But yeah, so yeah, guys, it's been real. It's been real. Thanks, Brandon, Krista, Ronak, KTYC, Stefan. Awesome, guys. We really, really appreciate you, and we'll chat on Skype right now if you're interested. We'll be here for a couple more hours, and we'll chat with you guys for those that are interested in the mentorship. So appreciate it. Yeah. By the way, sign up to the subscribe right now so you can get more stuff that I do. So yeah, like you can sign up and like you'll be able to see more stuff. I'm always adding little videos, and like we'll do more webinars. And subscribe to my channel right now in order to get them all. So yeah, we'll see you guys on Skype for those that are interested. And thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.